The Major League Baseball All-Star Game Tuesday night in New York. Next year, of course, will be right here at Target Field. The first Twins ballpark to host an All-Star game was Metropolitan Stadium back in 1965. As we all know, the old Met is long gone, but many pieces of it remain. However, one of the largest and most notable pieces, a foul pole, is mysteriously missing. David McCoy set out to solve the mystery.
Our story begins at the end. Metropolitan Stadium was demolished in 1985.
This rusted old parking lot sign is the last remaining artifact still on the site of when the Met stood right over there. The Mall of America now stands on the site of the old Met. This plaque marks the exact location of home plate.
The guy that won the base.
The actual home plate is in the Metropolitan Club at Target Field, along with many other artifacts.
And then this is the last pitch ever thrown at Met Stadium.
The original flagpole from the Met is also here at Target Field, out here on the plaza. And there are other pieces of the Met at town ballparks all over the state, like these 500 seats at Schlepper Stadium in Shakopee, and these foul poles here at Haddix Field in Bloomington, which, if you ask Twins historian Clyde Deppner, were one of Metropolitan Stadium's defining features. What was the Met known for? I mean, what stood out about this stadium?
I was impressed with how high the foul poles were. They were known for the size and the height. Even when they put the second deck up, the foul pole went literally to the top of the second deck.
And they also had a unique triangle shape. But here's the thing about the foul poles here at Haddix Field. They're actually one foul pole for Metropolitan Stadium cut in half, which begs the question, where's the other one?
Oh, do I ever wonder what happened to the other one? This is the one thing we don't know about. I know about the railings. I know about the seats. I know about the wooden backs with the seat numbers located on them. I know about the gate by the Twins dugout. You know, I know so many pieces of the scoreboard and the outfield home run distance and beer signs and all of these things that we've been able to come up with over the years. It just kind of like it disappeared.
So we set out to try and find it. With photographer Tom Ryther, I thought we'd start by sort of retracing their steps, so to speak.
Gotta wait for the door.
And to do that, we had to go back in time, back to the beginning.
There's parking for 14,000 cars, and fans pour into the Met from all over the area.
The Twins called the Met home from 1961 to 1981.
We're gonna win, Twins, watch that baseball song.
After they left for the Metrodome, nearly 4 years went by before it was demolished. And during that time, it sat vacant, abandoned in a state of disrepair and disarray. But we noticed something about these old photographs. The foul poles are already gone. Thankfully, Clyde Deppner knew the answer to that one.
When they tore down the stadium, the foul poles ended up at Normandale Junior College.
People thought it was kind of a harebrained idea.
Rob Fornacier is now an assistant coach for the Gophers baseball team. But in 1982, he was the head coach at Normandale Community College in Bloomington.
We were trying to seek out a way to preserve a piece of Met Stadium in Bloomington. And being the baseball coach at Normandale, I immediately thought of the giant foul poles at Met Stadium. They took a crane and a big flatbed truck and hauled the foul poles over to Normandale and put them in the ground. And we had them for several seasons. In fact, they were so large that there was quite a few people that called the college asking what radio station was there in Bloomington.
This is the baseball field at Normandale now. As you can see, it's now a parking lot, and the foul poles are gone. Normandale dissolved its athletic department in 1996, 11 years after Fornacier left to join the Gophers, and leaving us
to search for new clues.
I would check with people at the City of Bloomington Parks Department.
We're looking at the 1989 aerials, which are taken in the spring of each year. As you can see, we've got the ball field that is existing and then a slight shadow of a very tall structure, which is right off the third baseline, which I can assume is one pole. And then off the first baseline, we have another structure, and you can just make out the shadow, which extends deep into the outfield.
Yeah, this is the file I saved. I save everything. So I found the file from 1996 on the Normandale College Foul Poles project.
In 1996, Mark Borgwart was a supervisor for the City of Bloomington Parks Department.
Yeah, Old Met Stadium foul poles. This was a service request. We were in the need for a foul pole. So we went over there and took a look. One of them was still standing at Normandale Community College, and one was laying in the weeds. It had been, stored on the ground, so it was pretty rusty. It looked like it had been bent up.
It was the left field foul pole. How it got bent and damaged, nobody seemed to know.
The one still standing was in pretty good shape. It was a tall, very impressive pole because it was a Major League Baseball foul pole. We asked the college if we could have it, first of all, and they said, yeah, go ahead, take it.
So they took the one pole and it was too tall to use, so they cut it in half and welded bases on them and sunk those into the ground, and here we have the foul poles today. The other one, the last time I heard it, Normandale College had it. It's rumored to be back in the woods, laying in the woods somewhere. It's rumored to be in a warehouse somewhere, but we just don't know where it is at all.
You guys don't have it?
We don't have it.
There's no warehouse with
No.
the extra foul pole sitting in it?
No, there's not.
Okay.
It was laying in, as I remember, the weeds over there someplace.
A guy named Ed O'Brien was a part of that crew.
Yeah, this is my handwriting.
Ed agreed to meet us at Normandale to see if it was still there.
Is this where we ought to be looking?
This is the area that at one time I seen it laying.
Okay, right here.
Yes, right in this area, but I do not believe this was blacktopped at that time.
Okay.
It's been paved over.
So it's either they pushed a little farther to
Yes.
pave or it's just gone.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's either pushed back further or it's gone.
So the story's to be continued.
Our story will be continued next week on Rosie Sports Sunday. We head into the weeds in the woods with an exciting revelation.
Look at this.
Will we find it? Tune in to find out.
He may find Sasquatch before he finds that foul pole. David says it's worth pointing out that that missing left field foul pole helped decide Game 7 of the 1965 World Series. Dodgers hitter Lou Johnson hit a home run off of it. Sandy Koufax pitched the shutout, and the Dodgers beat the Twins for the title. David's search for that foul pole continues next week.